Everyone is telling you to learn AI. That's useless advice. It's like telling someone in 1995 to learn the internet. Learn what exactly? The people getting hired right now are the ones pulling six-figure roles that did not exist 2 years ago. They are not the ones who learned AI. They are the ones who learned to think differently about the work itself. Today I'm going to break down exactly what the hiring data shows, what companies are actually paying a premium for, and the 9 specific skills that make you almost impossible to replace. This is not theory, this is data. This video is and why this should concern you. I run production AI agentic systems every single day. Not weekend demos, not tutorials rebuilt from documentation, actual infrastructure that handles content pipelines, research, scheduling, security, multi-agent orchestration, coding, the list goes on. And in this process, I've really looked at hiring for AI integration work, and I have built the architecture companies are scrambling to figure out. And I see firsthand what the market actually needs versus what LinkedIn influencers claim it needs. This video breaks down the specific skills carrying a wage premium right now, backed by 2026 hiring data from LinkedIn, PwC, Gartner, and McKinsey. We are covering what is growing, what is dying, and exactly where to focus if you want to be on the right side of the split. So let's get into it. Hey, I'm Johnny Nell. I spent years building businesses the old hard way, managing teams, scaling operations, and doing everything manually. Today, everything I built, from automations and no-code infrastructures to fully AI SaaS products, has AI helping in one way or another. Firstly, let me quickly show you this. In South Africa, we call this a braai. I build with AI tools that, in my opinion, anyone can learn to use. My mission is simple: to help creators, entrepreneurs, and business owners get clarity with AI. Let's build smarter together and enjoy this video. The split is already happening, and most people have not noticed. Employment in the traditional programmer role, the specific category the Bureau of Labor Statistic tracks, declined 25.5% between 2023 and 2025. That is the narrow programmer classification, not software developers as a whole. But it is the lowest that the number has been since 1980. Remote junior developer roles dropped 71% since 2022. Entry-level software engineering positions fell roughly 30% year over year. Listen to that again, 30% year over year. Now, here's the other side. AI and machine learning job postings surged 163%. Reaching over 49,000 open positions in the US alone. AI skills now carrying a 56% wage premium over comparable roles, up from 25% just 1 year earlier. That premium doubled in 12 months, and this is not a slow transition where you have time to figure it out. The people who understand what is actually being hired for will command that premium, where everyone else will be competing for a shrinking pool of traditional roles with a growing crowd of applicants. So let's get into the 9 skills that put you on the right side. Let's look at skill number 1, AI integration engineering. AI engineering is LinkedIn's number 1 fastest growing job title in 2026. Out of every emerging role they track, that is the one growing the fastest. But here's what most people are getting wrong. This is not a machine learning researcher. This is not the person training models from scratch. Companies want people who can wire AI into existing systems, build agentic workflows, connect APIs, and make AI actually do things inside of a business. The shift is from writing code to orchestrating systems. Think about the difference between someone who can build a chatbot versus someone who can integrate an AI agent into a company's CRM, support pipeline, and internal tooling so that it actually saves the business time and money. The chatbot person is a dime a dozen. The integration person is getting multiple offers. This is not about knowing one framework. It's about understanding how systems talk to each other and where AI fits into workflows that already exist. If you can take a company's existing operations and make them significantly better with AI, you are the most valuable person in the building right now. Let's look at skill number 2. Context engineering. Demand for high sophisticated prompting skills has roughly tripled since 2024, but the job title itself is already shifting. The standard prompt engineer role is actually fading. The higher paid roles now combine prompting with retrieval augmented generation, evaluation frameworks, and agent design. The pure write a better prompt is becoming a commodity skill. Anyone can copy a prompt template and paste that into an LLM. Context engineering is what separates an entry-level prompting job from a senior role that pays several times more. This is about knowing what information to feed the model, when to feed it, and in what structure. It is system design, not wordsmithing. When I build agent pipelines, the difference between one that works and one that fails is almost always coming down to the context. What data does the model actually need at this step? What is the noise? How do you structure memory so the agent does not lose track of what matters 3 steps into the workflow? That is context engineering, and the market is paying a massive premium for it. Skill number 3. AI security and governance. As you can guess, cybersecurity roles surged 124% year over year to 66,800 posting. And that's a number that should really scare every single company building with AI agents and deploying with AI agents right now. Gartner warns that over 40% of agentic AI projects are at risk of cancellation by 2027 if governance, observability, and ROI clarity are not established. 40%. Every company deploying AI agents needs someone who understands permissions, data boundaries, credential isolation, and audit trials. This is massively undersupplied because security was never part of the AI hype cycle. Nobody was talking about agent permissions when they were busy posting demos on Twitter. But now the companies are putting these systems into production, they are realizing they have agents with access to customer data, financial systems, and internal tools, and nobody thought about what happens when something goes wrong. Security is becoming the bottleneck for AI deployment, and if you understand both AI systems and security principles, you are sitting on one of the most valuable skill combinations in the market that I believe will carry and age well with longevity. Let's look at skill number 4, agentic system design. Gartner forecasts 40% of enterprise applications will embed task-specific AI agents by the end of 2026, up from less than 5% in 2025. That is an 8 times increase in a single year, but here's the gap. Only 23% of companies are scaling agentic AI anywhere in their enterprise, according to McKinsey. They have built the demos, they ran the pilot, and they got stuck. So the distance between we experiment with AI agents and we have AI agents running in production is enormous. And the people who can bridge that gap are commanding premium rates. This means understanding multi-agent architectures, how agents delegate to other agents, how you handle tool orchestration so that agents can actually interact with real systems, how memory works so agents do not lose context between sessions, and how you build reliability into systems that are fundamentally probabilistic. If you have ever built a multi-agent system that survived contact with real users, you know exactly how different that is from a demo or an MVP. Now, the specific skills, the data, the market signals, if you want to know the how, the actual templates, the skill files, the workflows, and a community of builders who are implementing this stuff daily, that is what the AI Founders Vault is for. I do invite you to accept your invitation. The link is down in the description below. See you in there. Now moving over to skill number 5, human AI collaboration design. This one surprises a lot of people. Look at the World Economic Forum's future of jobs data, and the skills employers rank the highest are not technical. Analytical thinking sits at number 1. But right alongside it are resilience and flexibility, leadership and creative thinking. Human skills ranked at the very top in a report about the future of work. The market is telling us something important and most people are ignoring it. The bottleneck is not building AI. It is designing how humans and AI work together. Think about it this way. Every company that deploys AI agents has to answer a fundamental question. What does humans do and what does the agents do? Get that boundary wrong and you either have an AI making decisions it should not have been making, or you have humans babysitting AI and gaining zero efficiency. The people who can design workflows where AI handles the repetitive, scalable work and humans handle the judgment, taste, and relationship calls are more valuable right now than pure coders. This is workflow architecture, and it is a skill almost nobody is training for right now. Skill number 6, domain expertise plus AI application. 88% of organizations are using AI in at least one business function, according to McKinsey. That means every department, finance, marketing, operations, legal, supply chain, needs someone who understands both the domain and how to apply AI to it. This is where non-traditional backgrounds become a massive advantage. Someone who spent 10 years in supply chain management and then learned AI integration is more valuable than a fresh machine learning engineer who has never seen a warehouse before. I call this the Eileen path, named after a real example. A woman went from building email templates to head of AI across a 15-company ecosystem. No computer science degree, no PhD. She learned to work with AI before most people knew what an agent was. And her domain expertise was the multiplier. If you have deep knowledge in any industry and you add AI application skills on top, you are creating a combination that is almost impossible to compete with. The AI-only people do not have your domain knowledge, and the domain-only people do not have your AI skills. That intersection is where the premium lives. Skill number 7, evaluation and measurement. Here's a stat that should change how you think about AI careers. Only 12% of CEOs have achieved both revenue gain and cost reduction from AI. 12%. More than half report no clear bottom line benefit at all. Companies are spending millions on AI with no reliable way to measure if it is actually working and saving them time and money. The people who can build evaluation framework, set up observability, define success metrics, and actually prove ROI are becoming critical hires. This is less glamorous than building agents. Nobody posts a LinkedIn carousel about their evaluation framework. And the reality is companies are spending millions on AI and only 12% of CEOs can show it is delivering both revenue and savings. 12%. If you are the person who walks into a company, sets up the instrumentation, builds the dashboards, define what success actually looks like, and then prove the system is delivering, you become indispensable overnight. Because right now, most companies cannot answer the basic question, is your AI investment actually making you money? If you can answer that question with data, you will most probably never be short of work in this current day and age. And where the real moat sits, in my opinion, is where we are all positioned at. Non-technical founders, builders who understands where AI sits and how that could replace either team members, make workflows efficient, and ensure that the business runs optimally. Something people that's still stuck in the old traditional model of running businesses will take a very long time to understand and see. Let's look at skill 8, systems thinking over single tool mastery. The most in-demand people in AI right now are not the ones who mastered one framework. LangChain matters, RAG matters, PyTorch matters, but what companies actually need is someone who can see the full picture. For example, how does data flow through the organization? Where does AI fit into existing operations? What breaks when you go from demo to production? How do you build something that scales without falling apart at 200 users? AI created 1.3 million jobs according to LinkedIn and World Economic Forum data. Many of those roles, AI engineer, deployment engineers, data annotator, requires thinking across systems, not just writing functions in one language. The person who understands how the API connects to the database, how the agent interacts with the CRM, how the memory system feeds context back into the next request, and how all of that needs to be monitored, that is the person 10 times more valuable than someone who only knows one piece of the stack. This is not about being a generalist who knows a little about everything. It's about being a systems thinker who understands how the pieces connect and where they break. Now let's look at skill number 9, learning velocity. This is the meta skill that makes everything else on this list work. That same programmer category I mentioned earlier declined 27.5% in 2 years. The pace of change in AI is brutal, and what's hot today, specific frameworks, specific model capabilities will be different in the next year, and it will be different in the next 6 months. Think of coding, right? When all of a sudden AI could help code, it blew the industry. We had Replit, Lovable, Bolt, all of these different companies starting to bring these developing platforms out for you to utilize in natural language. Right now, software is becoming a commodity. It's not that high paying environment like it used to be traditionally. Think about the people who adopted from prompt engineering to context engineering to agentic systems design in 18 months. Those are the ones commanding the premium right now. They did not master one thing and hold on. They built the muscle of learning fast, unlearning what stopped working, and relearning what the market shifted to. The World Economic Forum says 39% of existing skill sets will be transformed or outdated by 2030. In my opinion, much faster. This is not a future prediction anymore. We are living it. The single most practical career skill you can develop right now is the ability to pick up a new tool, a new framework, and a new way of thinking and get productive faster than the people around you. That is not motivational fluff. This is a measurable competitive advantage. And if you think of tying all of these 9 together, nearly 2/3 of enterprises have experimented with AI agents, but fewer than 10% have scaled them to deliver real measurable value. That gap, 2/3 who tried it versus fewer than 1 in 10 who made it work, is the single biggest career opportunity in tech right now. You don't need to invent AI. You don't need to have a PhD. You don't need to train models from scratch. You need to be the person who makes AI actually work inside of a real business. Integration, context, security, evaluation, systems thinking, the list goes on. Stack 3 or 4 of these skills together and you are not competing with anyone. You are the person companies are building roles around. That is the bulletproof position. Subscribe if you want more breakdowns like this, backed by data, not hype, and drop a comment of which of these 9 skills you are currently building right now. I genuinely want to know. And because you actually want to build these skills with a community of people who ship real systems almost daily, not just talk about them, join the AI Founders Vault. As mentioned, the link is down in the description below. And if you have any questions, I'll see you in there too. Until the next one.